Welcome back to Snowy Rock and Rattle Retreat, or should we say icy. You can see the ice just past there. We're going to go down the road and show you all the problems down the road to the split. This was from the last time we were there, or should I say I was there. You can still see some of the ice in the trees. It's still there, hanging over. At least I can get under them. There's ice on the road itself, and snow. It is melting a bit. Down here a ways, you can see we did clean up a lot of it already. That was just to get up to the shed. There's still stuff to do. Who think, oh, we'll just clean up a few trees here and there. No. This is probably close to 40 hours of work. Tractor, this will be going through here with the tractor, my tractor. So by the time this video is done, we've done more than 40 hours of work. Hand work and tractor work combined. Right, you gotta go out and around to get through here. Here's another spot. Not much there really, but there's some. There's another spot. The debris in the road. I'm going to clean this up so we don't have to. And then we'll be cleaning up more later on. Because realize this hasn't been done for about 10 years or more, really. Cleaning up the sides of the roads and the small trees. Do it once in a while. Oh, there's a few trees with the ice, but not as much as this has happened. This was a bad ice storm, freezing rain, half-inch on everything. So everything that had limbs, it had greenbrier, it had grape. That was the worst affected because there was more stuff to put ice on, so it was heavier. Sagged down more, broke tree tops out. It broke things off. It broke trees in half. Here comes one up. Here's the split. See off to the right there, there's a tree broken. There's another tree broken. More in the road. Go down here to the bottom of the split. More trees down. Look over to the left. There's trees in the road, down the split there. Oh, another one. Back of the split, chainsaw. This is the next week. It had snowed more. Look at there. I'm assessing what I gotta do, and there's a lot of stuff. So I want to go up there and cut a lot of this stuff out. Trying to find with the snowbank, with a little ice, greenbrier. It's a mess. Chainsaw caught in that greenbrier or grape. Just yank it. You can probably see the greenbrier attached to that little tree. And when it attaches, it's hard to get it all clipped off to get the trees out. even though they're little. Okay, fast forward. We're just cutting right along here. Anything that looks like it might be affected by snow or freezing rain later on is going. I'm up there now, let's just get it out. Off to the other side a little bit. Here we go again, next section. The other problem is it's cold up there, which means it affects the batteries of the cameras, so you don't get very much in video footage due to that fact. So I laid it all down into the road because I'm coming back. It's like video camera died, can't get any more. So I'm gonna take the tractor down, but first, tire chains. Now I bought these this summer because I tried to do it last winter and they were all sold out. Now this is a net style chain and it has studs on it. So there's studs on those chains. Bites into the ice much better that way. So this is the real first use I've had on these, but we got to get them on first. So I got my little Kubota BX25 all jacked up, well, with the outriggers from the backhoe jacked up. Laying out the first chain. Luckily it's got kind of small tires, so I can lift up these chains to get them on. Got to make sure that the studs are pointed outwards, otherwise they're what's use of that. But we got to get them up on the tires. I do not get underneath this tractor at all, so I'm not putting jack stands down. I mean, this is the worst I've done here, is reach around and hook this chain on in the inside. Get it nice and tight in there. If that tractor did come down, I was not really underneath it except an arm, and an arm is going to fit underneath that. We're going to do the outside, and this has this binder on it, so you stick a chain through it and it binds it up, and then it clips to another link up there. Try to get as tight as possible. And then we've got some clevises to do the center pieces. And the trick is to make sure that the studs are situated so that they point outwards on those. Had to do those a couple times to make sure it was twirled around there right to have those studs out. So the clevis, you put the clevis in, and you put the little pin in, which has the screw pin. And try to make sure that the pin is situated so that you can tie them up with wire after you get them in. So there's that one. Same with the other one. And then we're going to put some wire through that hole on that pin and tie it to that ring. That way the pin doesn't wander out. Now, in reality, the other side stayed fine. The wire stayed on, the pin stayed on. On this tire, actually, much later on in the day, one of the pins actually came out, and I lost that clevis, and I just rewired it up with a couple things of wire in that loop of chain and ring. Okay, so the inside is what I did was I put a zip tie to tie that chain up, the loose chain. On the outside, we're going to put the spring tensioners on. And that loose chain sitting there, I'm going to put inside the spring tensioner and then onto the chain on the outer side of the chain there, so that loose chain does not flap around. And then tighten them up. Adjust them a little bit, May not look pretty, but they're nice and tight. And then do the other side. Make sure they're nice and tight. Check for anything that's going to hit. And nothing did. Luckily, tractors don't have any suspension in regards to this. You let it down, there's no suspension to creep up, so what you got lifted is what you got seated on the actual tires. And we'll try this and see if anything hits, and nothing hits. And we're off to the races. Got lots of traction now. Make sure everything's still tight. Nothing hit forward or backwards, so we're good to go. So we got to move all this stuff that I cut down, and this is the next day really. So I cut the first day and picking up the next day. Scoop it up into the grapple and move it off to the side. And of course I'm moving it off to the downhill side. This is much easier to put it downhill than it is to try to put it up on the bank, which is kind of the limit of the tractor itself. And things fall down if you try to put them up. It's easier if you put them downhill. If they're going to fall down the hill, not up the hill. So we go through and we scoop up all of this stuff. Move it over. Now this is not a 10-20 minute job, this is hours of job. You can see some more down there further. Because it took me all day to cut it down into the road. And it takes me another day to get it off to the side. And this is just the main bulk of it that I would have to drive around. There's still stuff up on the edges that I want to take out, because if we have another ice storm, it's just going to come back into the road, break off, whatever. I'm just going to clear it all off. And since I come in the north gate, well, if I came in the south gate, it'd still be, we're in the middle, it would still be 2 to 3 miles of road to clear. At this point in time, I had some help from the excavator to get into the property, and then all of this work I did by myself. And I will have another short video probably of another time we did some more clearing where my wife was helping and one of the property owners was helping. He had his tractor out there for a while. So now we're at the end. I'm leaving for the weekend, basically. It is ice. It was packed down with the tractor, packed down with the mule. It's a bit icy. But this will show the after. I've cleared up most of the stuff. There is still stuff coming into the road, but it's not. See right there, there's some stuff leaning over above the road. So we come through and do some more. Besides, after the split, there's a bunch of stuff to do, which we did at a later date. Be another video yet, at least one, maybe 2 more videos. So driving around the debris is not an option for me. I need to clean it up. Now this does affect, what did I figure, 14 different property owners, me cutting all the way into my property. You know, there's some that are at the start of the the road that helps them, besides a couple owners up past me that it helps. So I am not doing this. I'm not the only one and see, there's some more stuff still there. I'm not the only one that benefits from me cutting all this stuff out. And we do more down this road, past the split. Now my property is up on the right hand side here, going up the hill. Right before we hit the split, that's the end of my property. And you noticed I was cutting stuff down through that split. That helps me and helps everybody above me get up there. So you can tell that, you know, I'm not having to drive over to the left to get around anything, which I did with the Mule in the first of this. We do have those humps for diverting water, so the water doesn't run straight down the hill all the way down and cause ruts. But you can see that there's areas that are cleared out. There's still some areas that need to be trimmed up. Like in there, this was cleared up in there. And we're doing this. The next time we do this, well, actually, I cleared up some of it going down with the tractor the previous day. I didn't clear it all up, but I cleared some of it up the previous day. And then I'm not going to show that part of it, but I'm just going to go down the split here. And we'll be back up and show some more of the clearing. But I go all the way down to the north gate, really. So it is passable all the way up and down. I should say almost all the way up. The last property on this road still has to do some clearing. The next to last property owners actually came up and did some clearing also. We helped them. And here's the split. As you can tell, a lot of that stuff is gone. Don't have to drive around it or scratch up the side of the truck. I think there's still a few over the road that probably need to be cut down, but they were not blocking the road, so I did not cut them down at this point in time. And there we go. We made it past the split without having to drive off the actual road to get there. Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, comment, and we'll catch you later for another one of these episodes.